Okay, sorry for the lengthy delay. Found out what's going on downstairs and just forgot to record once again. So, yeah, sorry. Once again, going back to where the 0 point was with Uraraka and Deku. Obviously, Deku is still a pure blooded Sith. He just goes goes over to Uraraka and does sort of what Kylo Ren does. I know I'm giving him too many powers, even though this slowdown ability actually does sort of make sense. If all people could actually do it, then yeah, why not? Just sort of force slows it. Asks Uraraka if she's okay. She says no. She thinks that her ankle's twisted or even broken. Now, Deku, not using the force for this one, just lifts it up with his own muscle. Because remember, he did go to Dagobah Beach and a different beach. And yeah, got his body toned out then. So as he picks up Uraraka from underneath the rubble, he then realizes that the 0 pointer's hand is nearly about to squish her and him. He just simply says, "Listen to me, hold on very tight to me, because I'm going to do something that may kind of make you wet yourself." Unaraka blushing, saying, "Okay, but what are we going to..." As before she could even get the last word or speak the last words, she finds herself holding on to Deku high up in the sky. He force jumped through the 0 pointer's fingers and swung her around onto his back, saying, "Hold on tight." As she does do so, she holds on as hard as she can, sort of making him choke a little bit. In Deku's head, he just says, "Jesus Christ, for the love of the Force, she has one hell of a grip," and just looks at the 0 pointer and sort of does an Emperor Palpatine and unlimited powers the 0 pointer in the face with electricity, aka the Force Lightning ability that Palpatine seems to have before he gets turned into a wrinkle. No pun intended with that. Him doing that actually makes the 0 pointer overload and causes it to go boom. But not the explosive kind, sort of like it, well, it explodes, but just not in a massive fireball. It just like causes the explosions like it did in the anime. I only watched the anime version, not the manga version, if you couldn't really tell. So yeah, that happening, he goes down, well, just drops to the floor, using force push to slow his descent until he gets to literally a few centimeters off the floor, then just lets himself drop. Uraraka's still holding on to him for dear life. Gets told she can loosen her grip after Deku sort of like starts coughing, saying, "Alright, alright, right, let go of your grip a bit." Uraraka letting go slightly, and puts her good foot on the floor. Realizing that she's on the floor, she opens her eyes and says thank you for the help. Deku says no problems, but let's get you to one of the medical staff. Recovery girl walking up saying there's no need, doing her sort of kiss thing. I never get the real reason for that. But anyway, she does that little kiss thing, gives her a rocker, her legs back so she can walk, and the exam was called off. Well, not called off, had finished. Deku actually getting first place with all the points that he had. I'm too lazy, so I'm not really going to try and figure out how many points he got. So yeah. He walks home, walks to his mum and dad. But before he walks in, he could hear a conversation going on between him and his mum and dad, saying, well, his dad says, I went to our little crash ship and I got a signal from the Empire. His mum saying, finally the Empire's come to find us, but won't our son feel alone here? Him saying, yes, that's why we're going to leave him here, because he seems like he's enjoying his life, doing well. I don't want him to follow our footsteps, even though he is a pureblood. He deserves peace, because he's fallen in love with the planet and its population. Inko sort of saying, right, even though we've made friends ourselves, won't it be a bit weird that we leave and he stays? It's actually saying, yes, but we both have a duty to the Empire. Our son doesn't. Inko saying, when do we leave? Him saying, we leave in a week. Because there's actually a shuttle, not a shuttle, a destroyer in system, surveying different planets. So if we can send a signal saying there's an inhabited planet here, but they do not have the resources necessary to build ships yet. And then we go home. Inko's sort of sighing, saying, alright, but let's just tell our son nearer the end of the day when he comes home. Deku, pretending he didn't hear anything, just opens the door, walks in. Inko and Hisashi turn around saying, Izuku, our son, there you are. Deku just walking to them, giving them both a hug, saying, I can feel a disturbance within you both. What's going on? They're giving him the whole explanation, not knowing that he was actually behind the door. Because let's just say he just hid his presence. Because that's actually something you can do. Well, something that the Force users can apparently do. Play the Jedi Consular on the on Star Wars: The Old Republic. They'll explain it better than I can. So yeah. Oh dear. Ugh, that hurt. So yeah, they give him the explanation, saying, "Okay then, but why can't I go with you?" Inko and Hisashi both explain what their race truly is, and Inko sort of saying that she's a inquisitor. She was once a slave, unlike his father, who was a very close friend to Darth Maul. By the way, this is not following canon, so so don't you dare try and locate this. Not locate, try and figure this out. My what if, I can say whatever. Okay? So yeah, Hasashi being close friends with Darth Maul, and actually being the one person Darth Maul actually wants to try and find, because he was a good friend, and they both treated each other like brothers, saying if one goes missing, the other one will find them. This is taking a long time than expected for Darth Maul, considering the War with the Republic. So, yeah. So, at the end of the week, Inko and Hisashi leave to go and meet up with a cruiser that's actually in the system, but behind the moon of Earth. Izuku stands there, sort of thinking to himself, so I'm on my own, just so they can go and play Warriors. Why did they have to go? It's not fair on me, but I'm gonna have to try and make the most of it. Now, the news sort of comes on saying there was an unidentified aircraft flying up into space. Deku, knowing that it was his parents, doesn't like comment on it when he gets a message from UA at the same time. He opens it. There's a small hologram of All Might on a disc. Well, that comes from the disc, sorry. Saying, Zuku Midoriya, you have passed. Welcome to your hero academia. I look forward to seeing your progress, young man. You had the highest scores out of everybody. Even out of me, even my score was beaten by your. No, sorry. Even your score had beaten mine. And I am impressed. You're going to come into school a week early because the principal wants to see you, along with a brown haired girl as well, because of what you did. He wants to know both sides of the story. So come in Monday and we will discuss. Moving along to Monday, because this was actually on Friday that he actually got the message. Yeah, it was on Friday that he got the message, so moving forward to Monday. He walks up to UA. A teacher is walking in, and he says, "Kid, you're not supposed to be here." Deku sort of just saying, "I'm meant to meet the principal today." Something about the tests I did a week ago. The teacher just saying, or the hero just saying, okay then, I will show you to the principal's office. Then, and Deku sort of asks about the school, saying, what's it like being a teacher in UA? This, that, and the other. The hero sort of just saying, yeah, it's alright. I prefer to teach the younger generation a younger generation of heroes. Because, hey, I'm just that kind of guy. Him cutting himself off saying, here's the principal's office. Here's Principal Nezu's office. Please be respectful to all members of staff at all times. Deku just nodding his head, saying, okay. And before the teacher left, he asked, why are you wearing that anyway. If you're going to be here, you're going to have to wear the UA uniform. Deku saying, yeah, I know, but if I can, I'll negotiate the terms to why I won't be wearing the UA uniform. The teacher sort of saying, okay then, and walking off. Deku knocks on the door, greeted by a, yes, you can come in, because I can see you. He walks in to see a mouse, or an animal, that talks. Deku's sort of getting confused, saying, hello, I'm supposed to meet Principal Nezu. Nezu, actually being the mouse, I think he's a mouse anyway, just simply waves him over and says, please, sit. I've got some tea on the go, and me, you, and Uchaku Uraraka over here can speak. Deku sort of looking over, seeing Uchaku sort of like with a bit of a red face and a smile, waving. Now Deku is still nervous when he's talking to girls. He started to try and teach himself not to be nervous now that his parents are gone. So yeah, he's a little nervous still, but just not as nervous as he was earlier. He sits down opposite Uraraka, and Nezu sits at his desk, saying, I've called you both here due to what happened at the entrance exam. Deku sort of saying, I know you saw my quirk in its full glory. Nezu saying yes, and he wants to know. Not he wants to know. He asked what his quirk actually is. Deku says he cannot say because it'll be hard for people to understand. Now, I'm going to change something about Uraraka quickly, but I'll explain that as I go along. So, yeah, he says it'll be difficult for him to explain due to the specific nature of his quirk. Principal Nezu's sort of just saying, I am an animal who can speak, and I do keep secrets. And I find it not very hard to understand quirks. And Uraraka sort of stands up and saying, your quirk is like no other quirk I have seen. And I thought I had a strange quirk. Deku sort of saying, right, yeah, your quirk isn't strange at all. Uraraka just looking to Nezu saying, can I show him my quirk? Principal Nezu saying, yes, you can. Uraraka just reaches out her hand, turns it, and moves it upwards, slanting her hand downwards, then slowly bringing it up. As Nezu's chair and table with his tea starts floating. Yes, Uraraka has the force as well, just because I want to. Deku sort of being taken back by this, saying, so you have my abilities as well. Uraraka saying, yes, she's had these abilities for most of her life. Her parents don't know why she has this power or quirk, but when she saw that Deku had that power as well, and his was of a much more higher degree, and Nezu saw it as well, he called them both in to talk about that. So yeah, Deku sort of gets up, saying what his power truly is, and explaining that their quirks aren't actually quirks. Nezu and Uraraka do get kind of confused, and Deku just explains. He says our powers are not due to our not due to our pinky toe or one of our toes and our bones in our toes being fused together. It's actually energy surrounding all living things that makes us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. It's like an energy field. If you know which Star Wars movie that's from, hey, I know I screwed that up. But hey, Uraraka's sort of saying, so it's called, what, energy manipulation? And Deki says, no, it's actually called the Force, from where I am truly from. Nezu and Uraraka taken aback, saying where he's truly from. And Nezu says, you're not human, are you? Deku saying, I'm not even from, well, what my parents tell me, I'm not even from this galaxy. Uraraka and Nezu starting to be very concerned because they're looking at an alien. Deku just finally reveals who he truly is, takes off the hood, and then takes off the mask, revealing a red skin with reddish yellowish, well, reddish, red yellowish eyes like Palpatine's, and red skin with gold plated jewelry over his eyes, over one of his, over his nose, and little strands of silver and gold running down one of his uh, lines or whatever they are. So yeah, I'm revealing that he's a humanoid, which does sort of put him at ease. But the yellowish eyes and red skin sort of make them nervous because they know that he's not a true human. He's an alien. He simply puts his mask back on and puts his hoodie back up and walks off, saying he'll be in next week to do things. So as he walks out, little Rucker just moving, well no, not moving, running up to him and asking him why didn't he just say he was an alien to begin with and then explain things. Him just saying because it's not fair towards others, and plus I prefer to keep myself to myself, but I thought it was time for you two to see that I am not truly a human. I'm from another galaxy entirely. So yeah, I'll explain more on Monday when we're all here. He said, I promise, and perhaps I might take you out for dinner one time and truly explain my race's origins, sort of as friendly as I can, because I prefer to tell you and let you know the full truth than Nezu. So yeah, they both walk off and stuff continues as usual. They go out for a friendly dinner, and Deku fully explains what his race is and how powerful they are. Also teaches Uraraka how to control her power and tells her to still try and pass it off as a quirk. Only me, you, and Nezu know the truth. Nobody else can know about that until the time is right. Uraraka saying why until the time is right, and Deku just simply says because not a lot of people will be happy that there's a new force, technically speaking, at bay, at work here, sorry. And a lot of people would want to will try and kidnap us and make us do things that we don't want to do, or scientists will want to make us experimental guinea pigs to find out what makes our blood tick. Because the force is actually due to our blood streams or mini-chlorians. Deku's sort of going through the mini-chlorian thing, like in the Phantom Menace with Qui-Gon and Anakin. And Uraraka gets it somehow. She's still a bit confused on it, but she still gets it. Then Monday comes along. Deku just walks into UA, walks into Class 1A, and finds a corner to sit in, which he does. He sits right at the back, a bit different than from canon. Then Momo Yadarose walks in, followed by Todoroki, then followed by Ida. He doesn't really notice Deku's in the corner until he sees tables and chairs starting to float. He looks to the corner and sees that there's a hooded figure with a metal faceplate at the front. Well, a hooded figure with a metal face or a metal mask, just on his knees and making things float around him. Him walking up, saying, "How dare you disrespect UA? You're in the UA high school, UA school. Please be respectful." After a few hours of him yelling, or a few minutes of him yelling, Uraraka walks in, says, just calls him Deku, Deku, not giving his real name away, saying, "Deku, please put everything back, and Mister, please stop bothering him." Deku just saying, "Good morning to you too, Uraraka," and putting things down, followed by Aizawa getting up, saying it took you all such and such an hour, such and such minutes to shut up. That won't do. Followed by put all this gym gear on, yada yada yada. And a lot of people sort of ask him who he is, and he says, "I'm your homeroom teacher, and we're going to do a physical exam." Deku acing it along with Uraraka. Yep, gotta go. I'll continue this on a later date. Bye, guys.